Hey guys, welcome to the Daily Bits. Glad you're here, glad you're stopping by. So this one's going to be pretty short, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. So you guys know I have a biological father. Some people just call him sperm donor. I call him an asshole. My stepdad, he was my real father, and he passed away, and I'm left with a biological father that basically is a huge narcissist, a racist, and just uses me or calls me when he needs something. So last summer, I think it was last summer, he was in a situation where he was going to become homeless, and he did become homeless because he was living with this lady that was toxic. It's a toxic relationship. One's because he's an alcoholic, and two, he's got a bad temper, and this relationship's been off and on forever. He's been kicked out of the house, brought back in, and we've tried to help him like every single time. And last summer, me and my brother had to help him work through getting him a place. So we finally got a place, and we helped furnish the place, and it was supposed to be just him. He was the only one that's supposed to be living here. And a few months later, he brought the person that kicked him out of his house, brought her to live with him. So they got kicked out, apparently, out of the apartment that we helped get him, and he got a new apartment, and he brought her with him. So not only did he bring her with him, she also brought some people with her to live in a one-bedroom apartment. Now, I've seen these apartments before because it was one of my very first apartments I had, and they're very small. And I guess he's got multiple people living there. And, like I said before, he's an alcoholic. If he had a choice between beer and his sons, most likely he's just going to choose the beer. He just can't live without it. And, we've had interventions, several interventions to try to get him help. We've done everything we could. He had a stroke because of his alcoholism, and we figured like, hey, this is a good sign. Maybe you should quit drinking. And he got back to it. And he gets mean when he gets drunk. And I can tell you one thing is that's why my mom and him got divorced, because his temper, he's narcissistic. He like partakes in domestic violence and thinks that's okay, makes threats, shoves guns into people's faces, breaks things, and all kinds of stuff. It was a bad situation when I was a kid. It really was. Me and my brother and my sister, we had to deal with it, and it was an abusive relationship. And we loved our dad, and we didn't know any better. But ultimately, I ended up living with my mom after they got divorced, and it was an ugly divorce, really bad. And since then, he's been married a couple more times. He's got a kid that he's never talked to. And I have, because of the relationship with him and his other ex, I never got a relationship with my half-brother, or, whatever. I never did. I only got to meet him a couple times. He's all grown up now. He's a nurse. He's got his own home. Done great. Had a deadbeat dad. Done great. And I've always, my entire life, I have fought to never be like him. I don't want to be like him. I used to drink hardcore. I was borderline alcoholic when I was in college, just drinking nonstop, and that was ruining my life. And I've had things where I've been in abusive relationships, and I was always afraid to be to end them, even though I knew it was toxic. Because I always felt like I'm going to be like my dad. I want to be the bad guy, and I never want to be the bad guy. But I am a bad guy in some people's stories, probably. That's just something I have to live with, and that's just something, that's just normal, I guess. I don't know. But he called me the other day. It's the first time he's talked to me in probably 2 months, give or take. He only calls me when he needs something. So he calls me and he's freaking out, screaming and cussing and saying somebody beat him up in his house. And I was like, who was in your house that beat you up? And he said, it's none of your business. And I was like, well, it is my business. Basically, he wanted me to leave work, come to the other apartment, and fight some dude. I was like, I'm not doing that. It's like, A, I'm not leaving my job. I'm not losing my job. And B, I'm not going to jail. I was like, if I lose my job or I go to jail, then lose my job, that's going to be bad. That affects me and my wife. That affects me going back to the old times where I had to sell everything. And I don't want to do that. And it was like, he got so pissed off about it. Like, I was like, how can you be so stupid, like, to understand that I have a life and you want me to fuck up my life because you're drunk again and you got your ass kicked again? So, another thing of what I think is happening is the new place that he just got, kind of have a feeling that it's in his so-called girlfriend's name. And that's the only reason why he's keeping up with the other people living in the apartment. And here's the thing. If my dad's a dick to somebody, and he's an alcoholic, he needs decked. Anybody that's like that, they just need decked. They just need decked. That's what I think. I think if you're going to be an asshole, if you're going to make threats, it's one of the things he said, he's going to kill that person. He said that to a lot of people. He said that to my mom, said it about my stepdad. And, like I said, he's a narcissist, and it kills me to talk about it because I'm just pissed off about it because, that's my biological father. That's who I'm stuck with. And I know, like, that seems bad to say, but I almost feel like I'm better off without him in my life. I'm doing fine without him. I've always done fine without him. I've bailed him out of a lot of things. My brother, a lot of people's bailed him out, and he just keeps on going back to the same thing. His brother died from alcoholism, and he's got a lot of people in his family that's got problems of substance abuse. I was going that direction, but I'm not going to go that direction. I barely drink anymore. At all, really. I drink occasionally, like when we go out on a date or something like that. I might get a beer or a mixed drink, but because of him, like I don't want to drink. Like it bothers me a little bit to drink on occasions, especially if I get drunk. But I don't understand. Like, do you guys have family members in your lives that basically wants to use and abuse you? They know that you're not going to say no. They know that you're nice, and they take advantage of that. It's kind of hard. I guarantee it. I guarantee it's hard for you guys too. I'm sorry I'm rambling. Like, I really am, because like when I talk about it, like it brings up all these emotions, and just the fact that he wanted me to ruin my life so he can get drunk again. Fuck him, man. I'm sorry. Before I go any further, I'm sorry. I just wanted to vent. I know you guys probably seen us before. Like, and one thing, like I said, I don't like domestic violence at all. I hate it. I think if you're going to hit a woman or vice versa, you should be in jail. Like, especially if you hit a woman. Like, I would never hit a woman. Like, it kills me to like argue, like, or raise my voice. Like, I can't do it. Like, I hate doing it. Like, I just can't, because it just reminds me of my dad, and like, I guess as a trauma. Like, it was a bad divorce, and I was like maybe 11 or 12 when that happened, and when I say it was a bad divorce, it was bad. And thank God my mom got out of there and she met a good man. And it took me a while to understand him because, you know, I'd seen some guy just taking over for my dad, and we loved our dad, but, you know, I consider my stepdad my father, my real father. I learned more from him than I learned from anybody else. And it sucks that he's gone, and I'm left with this motherfucker. I guess the point of the story is don't let family members, especially if they're your mom or your dad, manipulate you or take advantage of you, like, because they will, like, in a heartbeat, especially if they know your character. It sucks, really sucks. And I'm sorry this is such a, like, shitty conversation to have, and I might turn some people off by it, but I'm sure you guys have been on this side before. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later.